Good afternoon and welcome to the live. We are here today to talk about episodes 14 and 15 of Love Island. And we're going to try not to spend too much time on episode 14, but we'll see how the conversation flows so that we can get to what happened last night and we can get off this live because we're anxious to watch what's going to happen tonight as well. So we welcome you to the live. Please thumbs up the live, leave a comment, even if it's just to say hello. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel already, please subscribe. We appreciate the support. So, how are you doing today, V?
I'm good.
Well, I thought we would kind of just start with where episode 14 started, and that was with Huda. Episode 14, of course, was the Huda episode, like so many others. But Huda uh, getting on Jeremiah, talking about what had happened as far as America trying to get rid of her, and all her also almost being voted off. And she is telling him that basically America must be seeing that he's no good for her. America must be seeing what she's not seeing, and that's why they did that to try to free her from him. And he tells her, "Well, I think it's the other way around." She said, "So you think America hates me?" And she then goes into saying to him, well, you could have fixed that. You could have prevented that if you had acted different towards me.
Mm. It was, I don't know. She was doing too much for me, honestly. Because it's kind of like you have no accountability at all. Like, there's a little bit of both in that, but the thing that made America act that way is 100% you.
How do you think from how she's acting right now? Because she seems to be a bit concerned about America hating her. How do you think she's gonna act, especially when they do that episode when they read the tweets? How do you think she's gonna act when she see like, yeah, girl, they don't care for you too much?
I don't think she's going to take it well. She might have a mental breakdown. I think anybody would have a mental breakdown in that situation because she is, it's like she's going to feel bad, but I feel somewhat bad to her also because people are lying dead to her face throughout that villa.
That's true.
So it's kind of like I feel bad in the sense of that some of the hate that you're getting is a little unnecessary. Some of them is or some of it is valid, but also you're so 100% uncertain about this one narrative of the situation because nobody is like holding you accountable and is also agreeing with you that Jeremiah is the jerk.
Yeah, because we know Hannah not alone, but Hannah was 10 toes down. Like, you deserve better. He's not this, he's not that. And they're not making her feel like, girl, it's you. You are the problem. Or at least you're a big part of the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving right along into episode 14, we also saw where Amaya and Austin were making more of a connection. I guess she was making her move with that whole just him picking her up and spinning her around. And and Austin referred to her as a breath of fresh air. I was kind of happy to see that. I don't think it's really no genuine spark between them either, but I was just happy for Austin to just move on because Shelly was stringing him along.
She was. Because it was just like, when you're around Austin, like at this point, you just lying to the man's face. Like, there's no way that you actually think like, oh, Austin is the one, yada yada yada, or you really thought it was 50-50.
Yeah, because it wasn't 50-50.
Mm-mm.
She was really not torn. I almost feel like she was hanging on to Austin, maybe to even make Ace jealous or something, because she was not torn. Her energy was all Ace to me.
Yeah.
You know. All right, so let's jump forward with Hannah. Hannah in episode 14, after Charlie left and she was giving all those guttural, them cries from the gut, just like, oh, somebody pick her up off the floor, Jesus. She was doing all that.
Yeah, girl was having a panic attack.
Yeah, sleeping with his pictures and everything. And then she found her way back to say his name for me because, Pepe.
Pepe, yeah,
I
yeah.
got it right. She
Mm.
found her way back to him. Now, Hannah is moving to me like Hannah's here for a good time, not a long time. Your thoughts?
Um, I don't know. Like Hannah, like I try to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she is just a crybaby. Like when there's a sad moment, like she just really just goes to the extreme, and there's no in between.
Hmm.
But I really do think it's just a good time, not a long time. Because for you to switch up like that after hyperventilating, like and sleeping with his photo, like you would think the last thing you'll be doing is having sex with him. And then on top of that, Pepe, you too. I mean, if y'all just here to have a good time and it's very much noticeable on both sides that y'all like that, then okay. But don't be saying stuff like Pepe was like, I think from now on we gonna move slow. He say that, then the next episode y'all having sex.
Yeah. They both are there for a good time, and they just need to acknowledge that. It's nothing. I can't take her seriously, and I don't take him seriously. They're just there for a good time, and like you say, they're not gonna say that probably because it goes against we're here to find love. Y'all are not moving like y'all trying to find no love. Y'all look like y'all trying to find something else though. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
not look, I just can't take them seriously at all.
Me neither.
Okay, so then we had Olandria and Taylor, and Taylor got to be there when Olandria came back from her date with Jalen, and as soon as Olandria came back, she asked Taylor, "You miss me?" And they did a little kiss, which still didn't seem too intimate to me, but nevertheless, they did kiss. And it made me feel like it was hope for them, because of course we don't know yet what's about to happen coming up in the next episode, but it just made me feel like, okay, maybe it's some hope for y'all because she did go straight to him after getting back from the date, but I still don't see a spark.
I don't know. I think the spark has to happen on Taylor's end and not Orlandria's. Because Orlandria, I feel like she's that type of girl, like she's gonna match the energy. Like she ain't gonna be the one Debbie Downing dragging along, yada yada yada. Like she'll match your energy. But like there's like little cute stuff, but it's just the moments that reel me back is when they're having a conversation and Taylor, like he's saying the right things are coming out of his mouth, but his face, I'm like, you look bored. You look like you're zoning out. You look like you're not paying attention, or you just look like you were just not that interested.
I
Because
agree with you.
there's no way if you're truly interested in someone and you're having a conversation like this, basically saying how y'all still feeling each other out, yada yada yada. You're having a little slight banter, and you just look dead in the face. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, to me, Olandria Taylor doesn't look like he's actually interested in Olandria. And honestly, I keep saying I don't feel like Olandria is interested in him either. I think she feels more to me like she's trying. She It feels to me more like she wants it to work, right? She wants to find something. She's hoping this slow dance they're doing may lead to something. I think she does genuinely think he's a nice guy and all of that, but this might be the slowest burn ever in history because I don't sense a spark at all. Like nothing. I don't feel. Even when they kiss, it feels like y'all don't want to do that. Y'all, I don't even feel the commitment. I don't feel the commitment in this kiss.
Mm-mm-mm.
And so we'll see what happens there. Okay, so next on episode 14, we had Huda still being Huda, still being Huda, and she was complaining to Jeremiah and to some other folks that he laid in the bed with Iris. And how could he do that? And she was so devastated by him laying in the bed with her after that first night when they got switched up. She went out in the hallway and sat against the wall and cried. And I don't know if she was probably hoping that he would get out of the bed and come sit beside her. But again, just too much.
Yeah, I think that part was really dumb to me because I was just like, This is the process. Like once you recouple, you do sleep in the bed next to the person. The only time that you see them not sleeping in the bed with the couple is either with like Ace and Amaya's situation where they're just really not that fond of each other and he's sleeping out in the speakeasy, not speakeasy. What is it? What was it called?
Oh gosh, what
Just
was
had
it?
the name. But sitting out there. But like Iris ain't a terrible person. He rarely had a like real like connection with her, like with a little bit of baggage. He don't got none of that. So it's like him sleeping and then him saying I have my back turned to or turned, like that should be enough for her to be like, okay. Like what else does he have to do?
Come out the bed. She want him to go out there and sleep on the couch.
Yeah, no.
Refuse to sleep in the bed with her. That's what she wanted.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so enough of that. Then we moved on to Nick, who was just saying how his energy was drained. He's tired of Jeremiah and Huda. At this point, Huda then called Jeremiah so many bees I can't count them. She's doing Huda things and all just having a tantrum with Jeremiah, throwing things, walking off. Everybody's trying to console her, and Nick says, "Enough. I am over it."
Mm-mm-mm.
Any thoughts on that, or you just like ditto?
I think I give Nick props just for trying to vote her out 2 times in a row, so at least he's consistent. But I am not here. The only person that gets to complain is Nick. I'm not here for all of this complaining if y'all ain't gonna be front or straight up with the girl. I'm glad Sierra was straight up, somewhat. Just saying she almost voted for him. But like I said, I need somebody to come up in there and tell her, you are the issue. You are stringing this along. You are making it draining. You. Like you realize every single time that something blows up, every single time that there's an event and you end up calling him a B word, is always based off of you initiating the chat first. He's not pulling you, you are. So with you easily just not doing that can bring up so much more peace.
Yeah, because I mean, even like when she was working out and she could tell they were over there talking about her, and she looked and smiled at them and they smiled at her, and they were talking about her, but yet and still, when they had that opportunity, when she was standing up there with Charlie and Taylor, and they had the opportunity to get rid of her, they saved her.
Yeah, and I'm not even gonna lie. Like, if they keep me personally, this is this. I know she's draining. I know she's this. I know she's that. But me, if I was in Huda's shoes, and let's say I was acting like that, and I find out that all of the girls are talking crap, basically making it seem like when I come up to them, oh my God, this, oh my God, that. And then you telling me that I'm not the issue, but Jeremiah is. But then on top of that, y'all don't even want to be around me. Like at this point, Huda, go in there, steal anybody's man. Because it's kind of like, what are y'all doing? Y'all are being two-faced for me. One thing about Huda, she ain't two-faced at all. She got one face. It's just extremely extreme.
And it's funny too because Hannah was like the main champion. I mean, I even put in my notes, Hannah gives bad advice. I mean, because she was telling her all the things she wanted to hear. She was basically telling her Jeremiah was trash and she deserved better. He's not meant for you and all that. And Huda's just like a sponge, just soaking it up and rejecting it almost at the same time because after everybody's saying all of that, she still wants Jeremiah.
Exactly. And the thing is this too, like, I feel like she's the type, like, let's say if you were out and you were with your girlfriends and y'all were talking about some type of drama thing and one of your girls got done wrong. And let's say everybody knows that you got done wrong. But if you keep bringing it up by a certain point, the girls that even agree with you are going to get aggravated
Yeah.
because it's kind of like, why string it along? Why do this? Why do that? And especially if there's nothing really new happening, it's the same stuff that you're talking about. And you're
Mhm.
just being proven right, like proven somewhat right every single time that you might not need to talk with Jeremiah because it's just toxic in general. But if you keep bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up, like the girls are not going to soak up or be your hype girl every single time. By a certain point, somebody going to tell you to shut up because it's
People
going to
get
be
tired.
annoying because it's the same stuff over and over. It
Yeah.
ain't nothing new. You ain't learning nothing new.
And you're not accepting, like, even when people are just telling you, girl, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
You know you're not accepting that. And so on episode 14, we had more of Huda, of course, crashing out on Jeremiah again near the end before they did the whole door thing, calling him a B again, eavesdropping. And that's something that really has stood out to me. I don't know if in past season there was somebody who was like a serial eavesdropper, but she is a serial eavesdropper. What's
She
up with
is.
that?
That's the first time I've seen it um on Love Island seasons, or at least the ones
Mhm.
that I've watched. I wouldn't be shocked if there's been a couple of girls that's also eavesdropping, but they just not filming it because on top of that, this is a TV show. They trying to paint Huda as crazy.
That's
So
true.
they're going to really hound in on the things of her hearing them speak. And mind you, most of the time, or at least three of the times when they pick or catch her eavesdropping, she's literally just walking. She hears something, and it's like, oh, well, let me just hear. Now, any girl in that situation, if you see somebody that you had a good connection with and you hear them talking, and mind you, you're minding your own business walking somewhere and you hear them talking, you know you would eavesdrop too.
Well, this is true. And so if we go by, she probably wasn't the only one who's like eavesdropped in the history of Love Island.
That's
They are
hard.
definitely emphasizing it with her.
Yeah, because that is hard for me to believe. You in a villa with these people for days and days and days on end. You telling me nobody's eavesdrop? You lying. You're
Yeah.
lying. There's no way.
Yeah, yeah. I don't believe that either. But I and it fits into the picture of what's being some of it's being painted of her by how the producers are serving certain things, but she is also contributing to a lot of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so then on episode 14, we had the whole pick a door situation where the women had to decide who they would unlock their door for, and the guys had to go and choose the door of the person they wanted to couple with. And so I think everybody probably worked out like we would expect. Nick and Sierra, no surprise. But while we're talking about Nick and Sarah, Sierra, I'm sorry, Sierra, that's another couple to me. I don't really see a spark.
No, y'all just coasting for real.
Yep, it feels like they're both kind of like waiting. Maybe they're waiting for Casa, maybe I don't know what, but it feels like it's no spark. We don't have. We still. You and I talked about this last time we did it live. We still don't have any real couples.
We don't. Literally, honestly, the only couple that has somewhat of a spark was Jeremiah and Huda. Even though it was a crazy spark, still there. At least you know, at a certain point, it was kind of they like each other to the point that they don't really care what like how crazy or toxic it could be. At least you know that you knew that.
That's true. That's
But
true.
the other ones, everybody's saying, what did they say? Everybody's saying that we need to focus on the other couples, which we do, obviously. But the thing is like the other couples aren't going anywhere.
That's true.
So it's kind of like I don't know what y'all want to watch, but I feel like I'd be bored out of my mind. And this recent episode, I wasn't bored. It was actually pretty entertaining and a kind of like a breath of fresh air, just
Yeah.
nothing that's stressing me out. But as in the couples, I mean, I'm just seeing the stuff that I've been seeing the past couple of times, and y'all had your screen time, and I'm still seeing the same stuff.
Well, it's kind of like how people are so upset, like in the comments and on social media, like, "Oh, this is the Huda show. We're tired of the Huda show." Well, then somebody else needs to give us something.
That part, and then also people that say that make me like low key kind of aggravated because it's like I understand, but then also like you did make it the Huda show though. Like you switched them because you knew Huda was gonna react. You knew Huda was gonna do this. You knew Huda was gonna do that. So like y'all like it being the Huda show at the end of the day.
True. It's
Y'all are
almost like
you like it.
it's almost like people who complain about reality TV being ratchet, but then if you take all the ratchet out, then they say it's boring, they stop watching it, and then the show gets ended
Exactly.
because the ratings drop. It's kind of like make up your mind. To me, I don't need it to be all about Huda, but I can also say there's multiple things that are true here. No other couple is giving us anything.
Mm-hmm.
So if y'all are not going to give us anything and y'all are going to be boring, then of course they're going to only focus on Huda and Jeremiah because everybody else is flipping boring.
Exactly.
So I'm like, cry me a river on that one. Okay, so this is wrapping up episode 14. Only thing there, we lost Jalen. What you thought about us losing Jalen?
I think Jalen is a sweetheart. I think he's too sweet for this show. Um, I feel like I don't know. I really wasn't that butt hurt that he was leaving.
Hmm.
But then also it's kind of like he really couldn't get his foot in, like really, really get his foot in.
So were you surprised of all the people who stood behind Huda, including our boy, and I say that jokingly, our boy Ace?
The girls, I understood why they stood behind Huda. I understood that because when I was talking with you, I was like, it's either going to be the majority of the girls stand behind Huda, and then all of the dudes stand behind Jeremiah. That's what I thought it was going to be.
Hmm.
But the fact that Ace went over there, I was kind of like, this don't make no sense to me. Like, I'm so sorry, it don't make no sense. You try to vote her out the first time, okay?
Yep.
You talk so much crap about her and Jeremiah very much openly, okay? When you went behind Huda, she tries to give you some type of handhold, high five, whatever it was, and he said, "Hell no." And then like
He
it,
did.
you have a very strong like feeling towards Huda and Jeremiah just for you to stand behind him. And then the reason for it is you thought that what's his face? You thought that Jalen wasn't doing anything or
Hmm.
wasn't doing enough.
Hmm.
And part of me was kind of like, okay, so you thought Jalen wasn't doing enough, but then also you having conversations with your homeboy Taylor saying he's not doing good enough and saying that Jalen is doing X, Y, and D. He's doing all these things, but you're still looking at your homeboy Taylor saying he not doing enough. And then you go to voting and then say Jalen not doing enough. This don't make sense to me.
See, Ace is dramatic because by the time Ace stood behind Huda, she already had the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
She already had the numbers. If he had went over there, I mean, I understood like Taylor not going over there because Jalen was his competition. But
Yeah.
at the point where she already has the numbers, and there's no way she's gonna beat, you know, I mean, no way Jalen is gonna beat her as far as staying on the island. Why would you go? See, I think that's him too, also just being wanting to be the center of attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I don't think it's center of it. I think it's just like you just trying to make good TV. You trying to be messy.
that's true because it looks like he wants to be a producer.
Yeah.
And maybe he wants to be a producer in the future because he's making some choices where it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be on the side of saving Huda after all that you've done.
It don't make no sense.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that kind of wraps up everything that happened in episode 4, because I think far as the new couples, Ace and Shelly, and Austin and Amaya. Austin and Amaya, I'm like, y'all go ahead and have fun while y'all on the island because I don't see nothing really serious happening with y'all either. And Ace and Shelly, I think it's going to be interesting because I don't view them as a real couple either.
Hmm.
But what do you think?
Ace and Shelly. So, if anybody hasn't seen, there's rumors that now rumors like this happen all the time, especially reality TV shows like this. But there's a supposed person that posted something saying that they know Ace and Shelly, that they've actually been dating, they're intimate, yada yada yada. Like he made it very much clear going into the show, just to boost his brand and like start drama, yada yada yada. And then there was also a clip because everybody knows that Ace teaches people how to dance on TikTok live. So he was on the live with these dudes for Valentine's Day, and he was asking the dudes to say, will you be my Valentine, Shelly? Or if it was happy birthday, Shelly. I couldn't remember which one it was. But he was clearly saying Shelly.
Mm,
Part of me is like, that is one heck of a coincidence if there is just another random girl named Shelly.
yeah, that's too
That's
much of
one.
a
That
coincidence.
is too much of a coincidence. And then also, if it was real, if it truly was a coincidence, wouldn't you think him and Ace or Ace and Shelly would have some type of funny conversation? Like, what's funny? There was this girl I used to talk to, and her name is Shelly.
Yeah.
Like
And it's,
there would be some type of banter around that. How do you not mention that? You meet somebody that has the same name as somebody that was your Valentine?
well, especially when you acknowledge that you know each other, but you make it sound like, oh, it was one night, we kind of bumped into each other, but it was never much more than that.
Mm-mm.
No, we ran into each other, we met each other and like had a little conversation, but that's all it was. If it turns out that they were in a full on like relationship prior to coming to this show, I will say again, somebody on the producer staff needs to be fired.
Mm-hmm. And I sent what did I say? I sent the video to one of my friends, and she was like, "At this point, they just need to restart the whole season
Yeah. Yeah.
because there's no way you miss all of that stuff. There's no way."
Yeah. I heard somebody else say on social media too that they felt this season it didn't feel like people were really trying to get in couples legitimately, and it felt like people were trying to like be there for their brand, for the exposure, for the whatever, because like we've said multiple times, crazy or not, the only real couple we had was Huda and Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just kind of spending their time with that person until I guess something better come in the villa.
Mm.
That's how it feels anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's switch over to episode 15. And I have X up, and I think that let me go to hold on, let me just switch to that screen here 1 second. Uh oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay. I should be better at doing this now. I've done it so much, but you know. I'm still fighting these challenges. Okay, so I'm almost there. Just 1 second. All right, here we go. All right. So we all know what this was last night. This is when let's back up before we even get to this scene. So Iris and Jeremiah are having a conversation in the speakeasy. And Huda, she hung around a little bit. She eavesdropped a little bit because that's what they're showing. She is doing a lot of eavesdropping. And then she interrupts them. When she interrupted them, I felt like, girl, can you just stand down for a little bit? Did it rub you that way, or did you feel like, go ahead and have your conversation, girl?
I feel like you just need to learn how to read a room, but then also had a conversation. I guess I don't know. There ain't no stopping her. We already know there's no stopping her. So it's just like had a conversation. I think how the conversation went, it went relatively better than all of them. It's
Yeah,
still annoying that she broke up the conversation, but like I still don't think the conversation went terrible. Like it was significantly better than all the other ones. And even though I've seen plenty of tweets of people talking about how her voice was, because she was talking about, it really just hurt me. But at the end of the day, like her talking like that made that conversation not go crazy. Like
and
she
I
was forcing herself to be mellow.
yeah, I'm gonna play this clip too because it's just like that. And when she first came up, though, it felt like Iris to me was more like, "What the hell," you
Yeah,
know? And Jeremiah looked a little scared too. He Jeremiah looked scared a lot. I'm like,
you do.
Jeremiah, one day you might have to protect, huh?
I said, boy, fix your face.
Right? I'm like, Jeremiah, one day you may have to protect, somebody, your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, or whatever. Boy, you be looking scared a lot.
That part. What are you looking scared for?
I mean, she's not gonna kill you, not for real, for real.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. Me personally, if I see somebody that crazy or you finally catch on to the craziness that's been happening, the last thing I'm gonna look at you is scared.
True, true. Well, let's take a quick look at this clip here.
I just want to let you know that I truly, truly, truly cared.
What that look he's giving her right now? What that look telling you? What you think he's thinking?
It's like a bit of like it's a bit of I'm scared. Where is this about to go? But then a bit of like I feel the same way. But then also a bit of like, what are you talking about? Like it's all three. Just like I feel the same way. What are you talking about? I'm scared of where this conversation is going to go. It's all three of those.
I think it's all three of those, and I think that part of I feel the same way. This is the part that I don't like about Jeremiah. Jeremiah, even if he kind of feels the same way, I feel like he's gonna do at this point what the crowd wants him to do.
Yeah.
You know, even though he tried to stand up when they first tried to get rid of her, he tried to stand up a little bit. But I think right now, I don't know. I think like if he really wanted, we'll see. Because I honestly, I don't think Huda and Jeremiah are done.
Hmm.
I don't think they're done. But I just feel like if he wanted in this moment right here to be like, you know what, let's just, whatever, come on, we'll do whatever. I don't think he would do it because I think he would be like, everybody's gonna say this or say that or whatever. Because but before this moment that we're seeing right now, he tried to start over. Like when he told her before she blew up, when he told her, let's take it back and let's build our thing on friendship first. We're still going to be together, but we're going to work on building our friendship because we moved so fast to the romantic part of it, which he contributed to Mr. Love bombing on day one.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, she rejected that wholeheartedly. Now, a part of me kind of understands where she's coming from, but then I don't know. I don't know. I get wrapped up talking about the two of them because I see fault in both of them.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time I try to give Huda the benefit of the doubt, but it's just whenever she just keep pulling for a chat, then it's like, girl, you ain't on at this point. I can't. I don't know. I
Yeah,
can't.
and I think that tone she had where she was like, I just want you to know that I'm really hurt. I
Mm,
think she was talking calm like that to keep herself like restrained.
mm-hmm.
That's a sign of somebody not being, it might be a little psycho. In order for me not to blow up, I'm gonna talk calmly, just for me to calm myself down
Mm.
before I put my hands around your neck.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. It
All
worked. It
right,
worked.
let's go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was saying it worked.
Yep. Let's listen a bit more.
I hold no hate in my heart towards you. If I'm doing something, it's not to make you jealous. I literally wish nothing but the best for you.
I think me and Jeremiah are finished. I don't think that it is something I'm going to keep exploring. It's not going to work. I don't hate him, no matter how much I want to. I don't. We just
What's up with her
weren't meant
eyes?
to be. And it's okay. Even though it hurts, it's okay.
I genuinely
That look, the doe eye look. What's up with that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's continue.
have nothing but love, and I dead ass hope someone comes in here that can give you what you want.
You haven't even gotten to the best part.
I know, and I think they clipped that part because that's the end of that one. But the
Huh.
best part, tell the people what the best part was.
After that one hug, she goes back and she is straight up looking at that man for a kiss. There
I
is
just want to
nothing
let you
else
know that I
with that
truly,
look besides her wanting to kiss him. And he obviously knows what she's trying to do, but he ends up just hugging her one more time.
He hesitated.
He did, and in his head he was like he probably wanted to, but honestly, I think he did a good thing of not doing it.
Yeah, because he hesitated, but I'm like, bro, you made the right choice. Do not kiss this woman. Just hug her and just move on. Let's just move on. All right, let's see what else we have here. Okay, this is when do you want to jump into anything you want to jump into before we get into the meg of it all from last night?
Nope, I don't think there's anything else that happened.
Okay, let's see. Let's see Meg meeting the girl.
Genetics. I don't know how many screenshots I got of you, friend.
Hold on, let me click back to the beginning.
All of y'all are so amazing. Baby, Alendria. You know my name! What is the booty routine, friend? Genetics, babe. Genetics. I don't know how many screenshots I got of you, friend.
That's so real.
Oh my God. I tell you what, when Olandria said genetics, I'm like, girl, do you know how many people that got surgery and some of everything else? You know how many people out here doing a million squats trying to get what you got?
Mm-mm-mm.
That is so funny. But what did you think overall about Megan just being on the show last night? Do you think tell me what you thought of her, just her, how did she do? Just what were your thoughts overall about Megan being a part of the show?
I think honestly, Megan being on there, it made sense to me. The vibe was there, and I also like how she went around the table and said one thing about each girl containing to their past relationship or past couple and how they're acting, yada yada yada. Because it was just real. I think it was just like kind of a reality check for the people in the villa. Like people are watching you. Like they are waiting until 9 o'clock hits and watching you. Like it was because one of the people, I forgot who it was. It was either Sierra or Shelly that said it and was like, "Oh, so you're really watching?" Like, yes,
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember somebody saying, "Oh, she's really watching." Like, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. This is big. A lot of people watch this show, and it's like it kind of goes back to your point too about wanting to like make sure we just never forget about people's mental health, even with all the hood stuff, because there are millions of people, literally millions of people watching this show.
yeah.
All right, let's see what else.
It's poking. Shelly, my girl, like, what did you say to Ace? You were sitting down and he said something and you was like, well, I'm not trying to be the perfect girl for you. Put him in check. Don't call him babe no more, friend. Because I was about to jump to the TV for you. Babe, you scared me. I said, well, what's she about to do? All of y'all are so amazing. Baby, Alandria.
Okay, they didn't show the whole thing. But it was kind of cool how she went around to every girl and had something to say to every girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was good. So here's another clip. Oh, Lord Jesus. Okay. Now, this twerking competition, it was so funny.
It was.
It was so funny. And out of the boys, who now if you weren't thinking about the funny of it all, who do you think out of the boys? If you it was okay, let me ask this question in two ways. If it's just based off of the twerking, the entertainment and creativity, which was the criteria for this competition, who on the boys side actually won?
I'd say Taylor.
Do you think Taylor better than Austin?
Austin, that's more of just the funny part.
That's
Like,
true.
I mean, Austin did twerk now,
Mhm.
but like his was more funny overall. And the next up would be because, like, me personally, as in who did the best overall, like energy wise, dance wise, coordinated, it would be Ace, but the boy ain't twerk. So it's like you all the way at the bottom. So I
That's
think
true.
I think it would be Taylor, Austin, Nick, and then Ace.
So what about on the girl side? Who overall you think got it?
Olandria.
Huda,
Then
I don't know. I don't know now. I don't know.
Huda
You
did
don't
her thing. No, Huda did her thing though. She was going up high, down low. She was doing everything. I ain't even gonna lie. So okay, I think I put Orlandria just because of how natural it is. Like she barely got to do anything in the jump move. Huda got she got something back there too. So
yeah.
it's Huda or it's Orlandria then Huda, but they're very much close. And then it would be Shelly just because she the best thing she did was trying to twerk on Meg. If she didn't do that, I'd be like, ah. And then Amaya, I'm sorry, babes, but she on the bottom.
I do. I rank it the same way. Huda is number one. She did better with the twerking than me. Then Olandria. Then uh, uh what's her name? Shelly and Amaya. To me, they were in a race for the bottom because I didn't think I'll tell you, I don't think I saw too much difference between Shelly and Amaya. Both of them were trying hard to make something move that they just did not have.
Mm-hmm.
They just did not have, but that thing was hilarious though. So let's look a bit more at this clip.
Hey, take your pants off.
What is that?
Look at Nick trying. If he had that thing would have been moving. He trying. He's trying. He's trying. There's a little something, but it ain't too much. But
You said if you're saying if Nick had a little something more back there, it might have been twerking better.
you see the effort. But look at the boys. He trying. One thing about Taylor and what's his face? Taylor and Austin, they was doing too much with his back. Nick, he really trying to shake that thing. If he had it,
Oh my
if
God.
he had it, it would have been moving. Trust.
Yeah. And Tori, what what's happening right now?
Austin's the definition of, now this is a bad term because he a little Trumpy, but let's say he's not that. Okay, he's the definition of a white dude that comes to a black party and he's just doing whatever and everybody just turning him up. For some reason, he looked absolutely insane, but he making it work, and I don't know what's going on.
You know what? It's so sad that he might. Well, obviously he is a Trumpy because putting that like if we don't have that information, and I have decided to look at him in this show as if I don't know that.
Yeah.
Within this show, I like Austin. So it's so disappointing to know that in the real world, like that's his like thought process and the things that he believe in. But I'm like, you might need to check yourself though when you get outside of this villa, because before what you claim you believe in, look at the women you're chasing.
Yeah, and then also it's kind of like it's hard because another reason why I'm not 10 toes down on it too. I mean, 70% of the nation did vote for the man, and then it's also like if you're going to bring a white man into Love Island, it's going to be hard for me to believe that he doesn't fall into that category. You know what I mean? Because also you never know. Like it's the only thing that makes it bad is because he got exposed for it. Out of all the people on there, there's probably way more. It's just they not exposed for it. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, kind of just like I'm going to look at it the old-fashioned way, how reality TV used to be. You don't got no background on who the person is. You can't snoop their TikTok, Instagram, yada, 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 and move on. But like you said, it is still kind of odd that the majority of the girls that he showed interest in or complimented have all been ethnic women.
Right. And I mean, not play, I mean, real ethnic. I mean, you know what I mean? No ifs, ands, or but. Ain't nobody who's like hard to determine, like what, well, maybe no. I mean, you are straight up pursuing, like clearly, black women or put clearly, well, Dominican is still black. But so it's kind of like, are you sure you're like who the public is saying you are based off of your social media? Because you should be chasing these blonde women and blue eyes and all that, but he doesn't really seem interested in them at all.
I don't know. Maybe after he did his vote, maybe it gave him maybe a couple of months and he realized, oh god dang, I messed up. Because that can happen too. You never know. But all I know is in this challenge, he ate this up.
And the way he was looking at Megan, I said, Lord, he looking at Megan like she a whole snack.
Yeah, mesmerized.
I mean, his eyes just looked like, I was like, oh Lord, poor baby, don't faint now.
Yeah.
All right, let's look a little more. What is spanking his ass gonna do?
Hey, he won the challenge. He deserved that win. I ain't even gonna lie. He was still, after she blew the little horn, he was still going for maybe about 20 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll give Austin one credit. Austin was hilarious. He would not win any. Let me tell you something. Austin might go somewhere and win a twerk contest just because he's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. And he actually put in the effort.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say. He may not can twerk, not a bit, but his energy and his excitement over it makes you just like, we're going to vote for him.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. And so
that Olandra, when she said it's just genetics, that's some goddamn good genetics. Because what are you talking about? any step you take, the thing move. It jiggles just a little bit. And I'm like, what the frick? That's genetics? Like, girl, you are blessed. What is happening? What is
Genetics, girl. Genetics. She ain't talking about no gym. She ain't talking about how hard she had to work out. She ain't gonna get anything enhanced. Genetics.
genetics? Pure genetics.
Okay, genetics. I like Olandria a lot. I hope she can find somebody to come in here, but let's get back to the video.
Jesus Christ. Mm-mm-mm.
So, part of the problem a lot of people I've seen like on social media, a lot of the people don't understand. Like, okay, Taylor, you're not giving that you're attracted to Olandria. What is the issue?
What is the issue? Because how are you not attracted to Orlandria? What's going
Right,
on?
right. But you are not attracted to Olandria. Olandria, in my opinion, is not overly attracted to him either, but he does talk to her like, oh, it's nothing there. It's no
Yeah,
spark or nothing there. It's just nothing there. All right.
yeah.
So last night, another big part of it too, and I wish I had both of the people. Let me see if I can scroll down and get both of the people. Where? I thought I had a picture of them both. Oh my goodness. Maybe I didn't. But let's just start here.
They probably have a picture of him in the comments, maybe.
Okay. Because the bombshells, we got two bombshells last night. We got this lady, Adrena, and I don't
Yeah,
even remember the boy's name. Let me see.
I forgot. Oh, Art TJ.
TJ. All right, let me
Yeah,
see. Let me see. I was just trying to see if anywhere a picture of TJ in here. I'll find TJ though. But let's talk about the bombshells.
man. Let me tell
Let,
you something.
go ahead. Go off. Go off.
Andrina, how them boys, I can't even roll my R, so I can't even do it right. But how they said her name, Andrina, that's a bombshell. That is a bombshell. If y'all have not watched her entrance, that is a bombshell. Okay? Like, out of all of the years that I've watched Love Island, I honestly think she is the best bombshell that has ever walked through at least Love Island USA. Is the best bombshell that walked in.
That's
Cause
that's
it
saying a lot.
because I saw TikTok, it was basically like people are trying to figure out who had the best bombshell entrance. There's one other girl that had a good entrance, but it's Love Island, I think like UK or Australia or something, so that don't count. But for USA, I'm like, the other girls that still was like, you still are a good bombshell. You still are very pretty, very gorgeous. But the main difference between them and her, Andrina, she just looks natural. Even if she got something, some work done or whatever, I don't think she did. But even if she did, like, you still look good. It still look natural.
That's true. That's true. And the thing about it is, when she walked through, everybody instantly just said, "Okay, you got it."
Yeah. And the boys get this beautiful woman, beautiful woman. And then there's TJ. What's going on? What is going on? I'm not trying to bash TJ. If people saw his entrance, obviously you can tell as soon as he walked in that he's short. You could tell that. And hey, love to the short kings out there, but it's kind of like, out of all these women in here, I feel like the women on the show are relatively tall. Like, I feel like, or relatively average height for women, that 5'6", 5'7", 5'5" type area. And it's just like, TJ, what's going on? And then the teaser of Shelly saying that bombshell is fine as, I'm like,
Yep.
I feel like the producers told Shelly to say that because that ain't come out Shelly's mouth. That ain't
Yeah,
come out
because
Shelly's mouth.
it didn't seem real. And
It
it's
did.
like, looking at TJ, even on this photo, I think he actually looked better on the video than he does in this photo. But TJ, see, I don't know what's wrong with these producers, because TJ is clearly a nice looking guy.
Yeah.
Nobody's debating whether or not he's a nice looking guy. But
Yeah.
when you say bombshell,
Like bomb explosion, boom, bomb.
we're
No.
talking about Miguel.
Yes, Miguel is.
Miguel was last season. Miguel was a bombshell.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. They could have brought Jeremiah in later. Jeremiah to me is a bombshell.
He is.
Now,
He
once you get to see his personality, maybe not so much. But all you got when a bombshell walks in is their looks.
exactly. And the thing is too, like somebody was saying basically how I saw somebody was like, how are the boys getting fed like a 5-star full course meal every single time and the girls just got a little French fry?
I
Like
know.
that's all they got. And the thing is, somebody said like they better be saving all of the dudes for Casa Amor, and I hope they're doing that. Because if y'all gonna do this, y'all could have saved some of the dudes that are on it right now to be bombshells. If we were gonna do this,
That's true.
because
That's
Jeremiah
true.
dang sure could have been a bombshell. Nick could have been a bombshell. That's about it. But
And how do we know? How do we know that a lack of bombshells on the men's side? Because on the men's side, far as bombshell category, I really only give that really clear cut, easy is Jeremiah.
yeah,
Okay, and then depending on when the light hit Nick a certain way,
uh-uh.
then I might throw in Nick. Now last season, everybody who was on there last season, you good?
Yeah,
Okay, everybody who was on there last season wasn't a bombshell. Okay, but I'm just saying you brought in now a couple of guys. Now I like Jalen. Jalen was a sweet guy. Jalen is also a nice looking guy, but Jalen was not a bombshell.
yeah, and I know every single time ain't gonna be like something crazy. But the past couple times for the girls, it's been very self-explanatory why those girls are here. You know what I mean?
Right,
There was no questioning it.
right.
But I mean, this is the bombshell of the bombshell, Miss
Yeah,
Andrina.
this is the bombshell of the bombshell. So unless she come on here and she's like batshit crazy or something, it's hard to believe there's gonna be another batshit crazy person in addition to Huda. So it's like this girl, she just looking at her. This is a bombshell,
That's a
and it is nobody on the guy side that is her equivalent. They got to bring these girls in, some real men, because let me tell you, or some men that step it up a notch, because how much do you think that might be contributing to the fact that we really don't have any couples?
mm, that is true. Because some of the people that are coupled up with certain people, like I've heard a lot of people say, you're not really my type. Like I've heard multiple people say that, and they
Yeah,
end up coupling up anyways. And I'm just like, y'all are stringing this along. Like the messiness is what's making this season. It's not the love. It's not
yeah.
it. The show shouldn't even be called Love Island at this point. It's called Messy Island because there is no love. The only love was the toxic one. And they separated now.
And it's giving. Well, I got to be with somebody.
Yeah,
That's what it's giving. I got to be with somebody. I want to be in a couple. I don't want to be single and vulnerable, as they say, right? So I got to be in a couple with somebody. But even like, let's say Nick and Sierra, that's a good looking couple and all of that. There is no spark. So not only are we're talking about the looks now, it's very specific to the bombshells because they call them a bombshell for a reason. But
yeah.
even beyond the looks of it, these people, the chemistry is not clicking between these people.
It's not at all. Like I
So
feel like somebody was like, what did they say? This show is giving high school drama wise. It's giving high school, but I would say even relationship wise, it's giving high school too. Because it's just like y'all ain't got nothing else to talk about. Because the only time that I'm seeing y'all talk is, are we secure? Yada yada yada. I think the conversation between Iris and Jeremiah about his childhood, I thought that was obviously perfectly fine. I thought even the conversation between Sierra and Nick about the, what is it, holding toes, hugging
oh yeah,
toes. I thought what
yeah,
it was. I thought that was cool too. But like everybody else, every conversation is just a reassurance conversation rather than trying to get to know the person or learning something new or just some cute stuff. Like
yeah.
nothing crazy.
I don't know the contrast between, I like when people on social media try to level set us and they'll say stuff like, well, now remember at this point last season, this is what the couples were. Kind of like to just remind us that we still have a lot of time for things to change and for people to switch up and stuff like that. But so that's good for level setting. But when I'm watching it, I feel like y'all are way off from last season.
Yeah. I just don't think like overall. Oh, for the people watching and you also, there's a voting tonight. So download the app because they just made an announcement that we're gonna be voting about something.
Oh
But
Lord.
back to what I was saying, there's just no authentic and like there's no authentic anything. Like there's little peaks, but I feel like last season, and not saying that they need to copy it because you can't force being authentic to someone, but it's just like the relationship between the girls. I feel like there's no authentic relationship. I think it's kind of like these are some girls, I randomly met, which I mean it is true. I randomly met, we just kiki con, we going throughout the thing. Without there's just no authentic relationship. That's all I gotta say for the girls. And then for the relationships, obviously it's just moving slow. It feels forced sometimes. And
And
I just
how
questioning if you actually like the person or not.
and how bad is that? You're not sensing an authentic relationship between the girls, like just girls, that kind of connection between the women. But then you're not feeling that on the relationship side at all. I might even say the male bonding seems to be a little bit more further along than the women bonding.
Yeah, I say that too. Just on the fact of boys. I mean, there really wasn't any drama on the women's side. Based off the preview, they might be with Huda and Hannah, but like
Mhm.
there hasn't been any true drama. Like the only drama that really happened between friendships are the boys with Jeremiah and Nick and all that yelling, yada yada yada, which I thought was valid for Jeremiah to feel some type of way because they were acting a little crazy in the moment. But
Well, they were acting crazy.
yeah, they were. I'm like, okay, now like y'all need to calm down a little bit. Like I get it, but y'all need to stop. You ain't gonna be talking to me crazy. I just met you a couple days ago. That'll
Yeah.
be me if I was Jeremiah. I just met you a couple days ago. You ain't gonna talk to me crazy. What's happening? But
Yeah.
it's just like the dudes. One thing about dudes in general, they can just like brush stuff off their shoulder and be like the next day, "Oh, I love you, bro." Girls don't
Yeah.
do that crap. They gonna hold on to one thing that throw them off, and they gonna hold on to it. Even if they don't say it to your face, they still gonna feel it.
Yeah, even if we hug it up and say, "Okay, we good. We're gonna put this behind us." Not really though.
Yeah, we not good. We
Not
not.
really. We still got that one eye on you until
Good.
you recover from whatever you did to offend me. Okay, so I might hug it up and say we good, but not really. Not yet. Not
Yeah,
really.
me personally, if I was on the show, if somebody did something to truly offend me to the point that like it's actually bothering me, I'm going to like tell you about it
Yeah.
because I feel like somebody will be more hesitant about it if you knew the person, like truly knew the person, knew how they act. But like if I'm just meeting you, I have no relationship with you, I have no baggage, I have no nothing, and you say something crazy to the point that it's truly bothering me, I feel like it should be way easier for you to tell them like you need to calm down. And not even in like a mean, disrespectful way, like just a true heart to heart, like girl, you need to calm down, you need to chill.
Yeah. Doing too much.
Yeah.
If tonight's vote is about who the bombshell should be coupled with, because remember that's what they asked us the other time. Um, I am going to vote if that's what tonight's vote is. I am going to be voting that Adriana should go to gosh,
Pepe.
I don't know because him and Hannah almost deserve each other. Let me start with TJ. TJ goes to Iris.
Yes, Iris. I back to Iris. I have never seen that girl smile so goddamn hard this whole time of her being in the villa. I mean, she did come in to a hurricane as soon as she came inside, but
She
like
did.
that is the first time I've ever seen that girl genuinely look excited, giddy, happy. All of the words you could put in. So I'm like, Iris, go ahead, girl.
Yep. Yep. I think that's the easy one. TJ goes to Iris. Now back to Andrina. See, I don't like her with Pepe because I feel like Pepe and Hannah are two of a kind. And like I said, they're not here for a long time. They're here for a good time.
Mm,
So without knowing much about this girl, I'd hate to throw her over there to somebody who's only there to try to.
yeah.
So who is it? I mean, okay, Taylor, no.
Mm-mm.
Ace, no.
Mm-mm.
Nick, Nick, or Jeremiah. Austin, well, Nick, Jeremiah, and Austin are the three left because definitely not Taylor, definitely not Ace. Um, so Nick, Jeremiah, and Austin.
I feel like it's gonna be Nick.
I think it might be Nick too.
That's the only thing that's making sense to me.
Oh, and if it's Nick, then that means Jeremiah's gonna be left vulnerable.
If it's Nick,
No, wait.
huh?
No, if it's Nick, I'm sorry. If it's Nick, Sierra will be vulnerable.
Yes, but then also, I mean, realistically, I think TJ gonna be what? Oh, yes, that is true. Yeah. Dang, Sierra don't need to be kicked out though. They need to bring in another bombshell. They better bring in a man.
Because unless because TJ based up, well, let's look at the first look for tonight. Is this a wait a minute? I think I got that up here somewhere. Hold on. Here we go. All right, let's take a look at this. Just
Stuff? Are you open?
No, I'm definitely open.
Are you closed off? Are you open?
No, I'm definitely open.
I feel like it's so hard being a bombshell. Like, my job is to be the bad guy. I'm taking your man.
Oh man, he pulled Sierra. TJ.
I'll take good care.
Are you still open to like getting other people?
Of course.
I saw her pull Pepe.
Yep.
Emotions are involved, like on a whole new level now.
I think y'all came in for some messy.
This got to be nasty. Man, the
I don't even know who I'm kissing at this point. All I know is I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Even though everyone's like, it's just a challenge.
did you ask me to pause it?
No, I was saying they had a challenge similar to this last season, and this is when Connor was randomly being rude to Janae, like out of nowhere.
Oh,
Like this is basically the same challenge, just the same concept and the same setup, like the bleachers and everything, and calling people out, yada yada yada. This is the exact challenge.
so but this one isn't connected to the tweets, is it?
No, the tweets are like they like sit down together like as a group, and then like they. Oh wait, I think this. Okay, based off of what the challenge is showing right now, I don't think they're gonna put in tweets. But I think last year it was basically like they would read a tweet, and then the room or the people would have to guess what that tweet is about or who is it about.
Who is it about? Yeah.
I think that's the main difference between last year and this year with this challenge.
Okay. All right, let's go back a little bit.
Who I'm kissing at this point, all I know is I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Even though everyone's like, it's just a challenge, that hurts.
Who do you think has been planting drama and watching it grow?
Who do you think has been planting drama and watching it grow?
I would say Ace, but he's the one with the bucket, so obviously no. It's either gonna be Jeremiah or Huda. There's no one else that will get water on him.
What you mean he's the one with the bucket?
He is. He's standing there for Shelly.
I thought Sierra was reading the question.
No, that's Shelly. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Because
it would be Ace. That's the real.
Would have definitely have been Ace.
Yeah, but if it's not that, it has to be.
What about Nick?
I don't think Nick is planting drama. I think he's just a follower of Ace that does the planting, and he just be sprinkling a little water on it, and that's it.
Okay.
Bro.
Oh.
Who do you think needs to leave the herd?
Who do you think needs to leave the herd?
I feel like it's gonna be Huda, bro. I'm trying to think. It's Jeremiah or Huda. Everybody else good. There ain't nothing else. Like, there's no reason for the other people to leave.
And for the purposes of TV ratings and people that I would want to see to keep the energy up, I still say the person who I say y'all can go ahead and take her because she's not giving me much is Amaya. I think you like Amaya way more than I like Amaya, because as far as I'm concerned, Amaya could go.
Yeah, I like Amaya just because besides that little thing with Shelly, and who knows, they might have squashed it out and went deeper into it. We never know. But like Amaya, I think she's cool. I think she's a girl's girl. I think even with what was it? She was talking with Huda and she was just like, by the way, I don't think it was cool that you were doing this, this, and that, or you broke up Iris's chat to talk with Jeremiah. I like how she was straight up about it. She was straight up. She was being very straight up in that moment. Like, by the way, I'm gonna say this. I don't think it was cool to do that. I give her a lot of props for that.
Well, I will say now, I would keep Amaya if they took Hannah. I don't care if Hannah leaves.
Yeah, me neither.
If honestly, if I had to choose between Hannah and Amaya, and I know that's not how this works, it's about really how strong is your couple. Are y'all going to be, chosen or whatever? But Amaya, I mean Hannah. Hannah can go to me before Amaya because I'll say again for the third time. What is Hannah there for?
She's there for a good time, not a long time.
That's right. So she can go. And matter of fact, she and Pepe can go together. So let them just go on out there and be in the streets and do whatever they want to do because I got a feeling they love the streets. All right, let's continue.
I'm gonna pick. Somebody has a crush. Somebody has a crush.
Who you think they're talking about right there?
I think Sierra because she's the only one that's not saying
it. Okay.
You know, I wasn't gonna stay out of retirement for long. I'm just trying to get to know my options.
Oh, that's it. I like her straight hair. It's cute.
I do too, but let me tell you something. I can't wait to see what Hannah says to what she just said. Is she gonna respond in the healthy Love Island way of, oh, but that's fine. That's what we're here for. We're here to explore. If nobody's closed off, people should feel free to explore and blah. It's funny saying that to Huda, especially considering. Is she gonna feel like that, or is Hannah gonna feel like, girl? It was
Hannah.
me.
I think Hannah has. Okay, I think Hannah has the right to feel some type of way just because she stood up for Huda all the time. But when it comes to them other girls, they should have no opinion besides Amaya because she's been pretty 10 toes down on like, don't move weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But besides the other girls, don't say a single thing because y'all were talking about how they closed off too quick. She trying to explore her options. She doing what y'all told her to do.
Yeah. And
so
like Taylor
don't got a right to say anything.
Yeah, because if you told a girl to move on, well, if she move on, that means she got to be like looking at other people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the reality of it. And, and Hannah could, like you say, Hannah could take the angle tonight of, girl, it was me. It was me more than anybody else mopping your tears up off the floor over that man. And now, since he's dumped you, you're going to come for my man.
Yeah, no.
Well,
it's just the only reason I think it waters down the situation is just, I mean, Hannah did show, like we said earlier, she was sobbing, doing all that on TV, and then she having sex with the man the next day. So,
okay, that's why I say she could go. I don't care if Hannah goes. So back to, did you give me an answer on who you thought Adriana should? I know I just said her name wrong.
Andrina.
Thank you very much. Who should she be coupled with?
I don't even know. I can't answer that honestly. I have no clue.
Because tonight Jeremiah could end up vulnerable.
Because I feel like, how do I explain it? It's kind of like she's such a bombshell. I don't think none of these boys match her. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Like, I can't. The only person is, I think, Jeremiah. But even seeing them talk on the little clip, I'm kind of like, something's not. I don't know what's going on.
Well, see that, and that's the thing with looks. We may quote unquote match on our aesthetic, but that's before we start talking.
Exactly.
And that's before we start vibing. Like, do we have any kind of connection or spark at all? And that could very easily be no.
Yeah, because then after this episode, I think it'll truly be like, okay, we know the answer.
Yeah. Well, If I had to choose somebody for Adriana to get with tonight, I would probably choose Jeremiah just because I feel like TJ is going to choose Iris.
Mm-hmm.
And that way everybody's still safe.
Yeah. Hood is still single though.
Oh, I forgot about Hood is single. Oh, I forgot about Hood is single.
But she's still trying to. But she might be trying to talk to Pepe. So I don't know how that's gonna go. That's still a question mark.
So Huda more than anybody else needs to either pull Pepe or pull this new boy TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the other boys are off the table for her. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Austin? I can't see Austin trying to talk to
No,
Huda.
no.
Yeah. So her only options is to try to flip Pepe or to get this new guy TJ to talk to her or couple up with her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see tonight.
Mm.
Anything else major? Anything else big that we left out, or any overall feeling about where we are in the show right now? You want to talk about before we sign off for episode 15, episode 14 and 15?
I think it's just in a good spot at the moment. Hopefully, and hopefully the next couple episodes we see some type of actually true like or affection towards someone that's not sexual. So yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I hope there's not no crazy toxic crap that's going on, and kind of just move on to the next.
I hope that we have turned a page. It kind of feels like we turned a page, but I think that's because last night's episode was such a breath of fresh air that I'm extremely hopeful. So I hope that my hope is not misplaced, because I hope last night episode just wasn't like one good episode and now we get back to where we were before.
Yeah.
Um, and if Casa is coming up on like Sunday, if that's the case, then things will probably really get shaken up a bit. I am ready for us to shift into seeing like at least a couple of real potential couples, because right now I don't see it. Now, after saying all of that, I do want to say, based off of last season, when Miguel and what's the lady,
Which one?
the one he's
Leah.
still with today,
Leah.
Leah. When Miguel and Leah got together, I didn't think that was anything either. I mean, obviously they were attracted to each other, but to me, they didn't have time to really build nothing deep and meaningful. And a lot of what they were saying about how they felt about each other, I was like, yeah, right. These people are still together today.
Mm-hmm.
So I was saying that to say, no matter what my opinion is, especially, that doesn't mean that I'm reading it right. Who knows?
That is true. You never know.
You never know,
Because
right?
the real world can make it for the better or for the worse.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, not only with Love Island, but on all of these type shows, you know what normally happens once they hit the real world, it's over.
Yeah, give it. It's either it's over, like it didn't last past maybe 2 months,
Right.
or like y'all kind of end game.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably count on one hand, maybe, and maybe I might even give you one hand and a few fingers off of the second hand. The people on all these type of shows who are still together, like
Mm,
after a year, after 2 years, or people who actually got married and actually had children. I mean, it's not a lot. The majority of them, once they get a little bit out from being on these shows, they crash and burn.
mhm.
So I think it says a lot that Leah and Miguel are still together. Serena and Cordell are still together. I think that says a lot.
Yeah, it's a good look. It's a good look so far.
Hmm. All right. Well, that's it for this live. Thank y'all.
Ooh,
That
my
me or
bad.
you?
That was me. My bad.
Okay. Thank y'all for joining us and dropping in on this live. Again, please thumbs up the live. We'll be back for more Love Island reviews. We may not have them every night after each episode goes off, but we're going to try to be as close to the episode as possible. Drop a comment, even if it's just to say hello, because we like to hear from y'all. And if you are not a subscriber, what are you waiting on? It's a lot of stuff on the channel, stuff from reaction videos, compilation videos in response to a lot of Kendrick Lamar stuff. That's a reason enough right there to join the channel. But there's other things that are covered too, covering the Diddy trial very closely. Definitely now covering Love Island, and there's a lot of other different type of posts and videos on the channel. So check it out. Give us a chance. Again, if you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. We appreciate the support. And as always, I end with until the next time. Bye, y'all.